What's up, everybody? Zach here with the Nerd Cave. Hope everyone is doing fantastic tonight. Y'all let me know how you are down in the comments below. Excuse my cough. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. We are here and we are... What? That's weird. Interesting, guys. Hope y'all are doing fantastic tonight. I am excited about the stream, excited to talk games. It is going to be fantastic. No Derek tonight, unfortunately, and Yugi had his wife had surgery on Monday, so not able to get him on tonight, but we're excited. We're here. We're going to have a great time chatting and discussing all the news that you need to know. Just trying to give everybody a little bit of time to get in here. I'm trying to get something on my phone right because it's being weird. Maybe that will do it. I don't know. Interesting. Let's see if that works. Trying to also do a live over on TikTok and use that. Saying I don't meet the age requirement, which is really weird because I think I'm old enough, guys. Just saying. But anyway, guys, hope everyone's doing well. Let me know how your Thursday has been. It's been a weird day for me. Working home on a Thursday is not usually how it goes for me. So it's, just trying to figure out things. And I don't know if anyone feels this way. It's like when you are like, you're working, you're doing all of this, and it's like you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and you're just like, I'm tired, Grandpa. It's like, well, that's too dang bad. That's what I have definitely been feeling this week for sure. It's one of those things. It's like when I constantly edit and then I come home and I edit more. It's just an interesting thing. I don't think this is going to let me do this for whatever reason. I don't know why it's being weird tonight. Amy says, been good. Filmed some stuff for YouTube today. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. So it like had my birthday go away for whatever reason. I don't know. I guess I should have tried this out before. Tested this out before I went live, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Guys, I hope y'all are doing well tonight. Y'all let me know how you're doing. I'm excited for Amy's stuff. She used our new Osmo 3 tonight or today to film some stuff. So it was nice to see her get to use that and how quick it was to be able to turn around and all of this. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that. That's all right. It's not the end of the world. I was going to try something out, but that's okay. That's all right, guys. That's all right. We'll do it next week, or we'll figure it out later on because we got some news to discuss. Just a quick reminder, next week, well, I'll do this in the show as well. Next week, we will be doing this on Wednesday. We're going to start doing these on Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to having Derek back in the saddle with me. It's going to be a fantastic time. And you also go check out Amy's videos over on her channel. All right, guys. I'm going to move this real quick so I can see comments and everything easier. Boop. There we go. It's going to be a lot easier of a show for me because I'm not having to like change. I didn't do any like titles or anything like that. You're going to just get to see my beautiful face the whole time. So without further ado, let's jump into the news, guys. I'm going to reintroduce it like we normally do. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. This is the Nerd Cave News, and I am your host, Zach Dykes. And tonight we're going to be covering all the nerdy news that you need to know. This week in gaming, Larian Studios is leaving Baldur's Gate, GTA 6 might get delayed, and Xbox continues to make waves in the industry. Guys, I hope you are doing fantastic tonight. Welcome everyone to the stream, and everyone that is listening over on podcast services. Thank you for listening. Make sure to give us 5 stars on all the various places that you're listening. Guys, I want to ask, what have you been playing? What you've been playing? This is one of my favorite segments of the show, to ask and like see where everybody's, what everybody's been playing and everything. For me, I talked about this on my video Tuesday. I jumped into some Sea of Stars over the weekend, and I am getting closer to finishing the game. And if y'all are looking for a well-written, well-paced game, for the most part, I feel like the beginning's a little slow, but the music is amazing. The combat is great. The characters are well written and developed. I think it is such a great game, and it is over on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, totally worth it. So I am looking forward to hopefully in the next 2 weeks to finish the game finally. It's on my list and everything, but that is what I've been playing, and I have been enjoying it a ton. I cannot say enough about how great Sea of Stars is. It is by far one of the best games that I played in a while, and I played some good games, but just like the depth, the story, like, and this is not a style of game. I normally don't play like top-down RPG. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily top down, but it's like that old school kind of Final Fantasy feel to it. I don't normally play those games, and that might be kind of, me, growing up in that era where like those were seen like the super nerdy games. That's just not, it's something that I ever really got into. I never really played Final Fantasy. I played Cerberus, the Dirge of Cerberus, which was a dope PS2 game, but that's the only Final Fantasy that I ever played. And then if you count the Final Fantasy gang showing up in Kingdom Hearts, then I guess, yes, I might have played something there. But I am enjoying Sea of Stars. It is well worth your time, well worth the emotional journey that you're going to go through, and I highly suggest it. I am looking forward to getting to play some Princess Peach Showtime soon, and I've got a few games that I'm going to be testing out and trying and seeing if they're any good. Most of them look pretty dope with dragons and knights and all this crazy stuff, so I am looking forward to that, guys. But guys, this episode of the Nerd Cave News is brought to you by the Epic Game Store, where you can support us by using creator code NerdCave at checkout. Any purchase, even the free stuff, goes and helps us out. So thank you to everyone that has went over there and used our creator code so far. Any purchases over there helps us out a ton, and it is at no extra cost to you. We're also brought to you by Coffee Brand Coffee and our wonderful patrons, but more about that later. Let's get into what is and what forever will be the gaming discussion. First up, we've got some Baldur's Gate 3 developments. A lot of news coming out, so I've kind of condensed this into one big major thing. So, Larian CEO says the studio is done with Baldur's Gate 3, and they're going to focus on something new. Baldur's Gate 3, if you don't know, was a huge success in 2023. I don't know where you were if you didn't know that. Won Game of the Year as well, and has been touted as one of the best role-playing games to ever be made. However, if you were hoping for an expansion or a sequel, Larian Studios, the developer behind Baldur's Gate 3, has announced that they are done with development on Baldur's Gate 3 and will not be returning to the series for Baldur's Gate 4, and there will be no expansions. Despite having no expansions, there are still some great updates that are on the horizon. They are going to add mod support to the game, which is one thing that players have been looking a ton to. They're also adding extra cinematics for some of the game's endings, which will enhance the storytelling experience. Interestingly enough, Larian Studios is also moving away from Dungeons and Dragons completely. They've handed over the torch back to Wizards of the Coast, which own the IP of Baldur's Gate, because Baldur's Gate actually falls under the Dungeons and Dragons kind of banner and everything, which is pretty interesting. I didn't know that originally. Larian Studios CEO Swin Vinke dismissed rumors of a conflict between Larian and Wizards of the Coast. The decision to move away from Baldur's Gate's franchise has nothing to do with the falling out, which is always a good thing. And Wizards of the Coast has been a great licensor and has supported Larian Studios in their creative endeavors. Larian Studios is taking a different direction because it's doing what's best for the studio. And I think that's one of the things that is interesting here. It's, to Amy's point, with that huge of a success, with that big of a game, you would think there would be a sequel coming from them. And from Baldur's Gate 2 to this one was a huge gap between it. And for this to come out and be so successful, you would figure that Wizards of the Coast would be clamoring to get them to stay. I know that anytime a licensor like Wizards of the Coast, Disney, whoever it may be, gives the license of a property over to a company to make a game, they take a huge chunk of whatever is made off the game. So I think that's where a lot of this is coming from. And it's not necessarily, it's like, oh, we had a bad falling out. It's like, hey, we can actually make a game and get all of that profit, because this game sold like crazy and it has been touted, and I'm sure it's a fantastic game. I haven't played it yet, but when they look at this, it's like, hey, we can work on a new project. We could go back to a series that they've done before, which is the Divinity Original Sins trilogy, which was, received pretty well and everything. But I'm quite sure that we're going to be getting some sort of awesome RPG, because that's what they're really known for. But yeah, it was hearing all of this come out of this week, that Larian is moving away from Baldur's Gate. But I'm glad that they're not just like up and like, all right, we're done, that they're actually supporting the game up until, for a little while longer, getting mod support, which is a huge thing for any kind of heavy PC crowd, and then also adding some more cinematics. Cinematics take a long time to really do well, and I think that's a huge compliment to what kind of integrity that this team has over at Larian. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next, and I can't wait to see when do we get Baldur's Gate 4? Do we get something on that level again, or is everybody going to hold it up to that standard? I'm curious your thoughts down in the comments below, because I think this is potentially a huge misstep for Wizards of the Coast. They should have done everything bent over backwards to get Larian to make expansions or another Baldur's Gate 3, but only time will tell. Let's move to the next story. GTA 6 could reportedly miss its 2025 release window and slip into 2026. According to a report from Kotaku, there are indications that GTA 6 might be delayed from its expected 2025 release window. Me and Yugi talked a few weeks ago about the controversial return to work, return to office thing, and that is where a lot of this is coming from, and has apparently affected the production of GTA 6. And if there is enough of this kind of going on, where enough people are causing an uproar and everything, where people are doing more, putting more of their energy into finding to not work in the office, to work from home, then there's not going to be as much development going on. So I think that's where some of this is coming from. A lot of this is, There's legal action that is trying to take place and everything. So I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but let's jump a little bit further in there. So while the report does not confirm an inevitable delay, it suggests that production has fallen behind, increasing the chances of a potential release in 2026. It's important to note that specific release date for GTA 6 has not been officially announced, with only a release window of 2025 mentioned. And a lot of people have speculated that it's going to be like February 2025 and everything. For me, this is, my 2 cents on all of this. If GTA 6 needs to come out in 2026 to be amazing, then have it put out in 2026. I don't want this rushed. Nobody wants this rushed. Yes, people want to play the game, but when we look back at Cyberpunk 2077, where the fans got so ravenous, where they were literally threatening people, they were just putting so much pressure on the studio, where they released a game that was not in any shape, form, or fashion ready for consumers to have. I don't want that same thing to happen, because GTA 6 is the biggest release that we're going to have probably in the next 20 years. That's just, you think about it. GTA 5 came out 13 years ago, if not longer. Let's see. GTA 5 release date. I can spell, guys. September 17th, 2013. So I don't think the February date is accurate. I think we're going to probably get it in later in the year, because they usually release them later in the year. But why I'm saying that is 2013. So we're 11 years. Yes, 11 years after this game has already came out, from 2013 to 2023. That's 10 years, and then this year. So with all of that being said, by the time it's all said and done, it might be 12, maybe 13 years before we get the sequel to this. And that's fine, because when something that is on this scale, they're going to want to launch GTA 6 with GTA Online. They're not wanting to release this where, a few months goes by and then they release some bobo version of GTA Online like they did with GTA 5, because GTA Online is the moneymaker. It is not just the base game that makes the money. It is the online portion where people are constantly buying and getting more money that's in there. So many people are spending so much time. This game is released on 3 console generations. So GTA 5, that is. GTA 6 is a huge thing that cannot miss. It is one of those, it's almost too big to fail, but I don't think any game is too big to fail at this point. But if we want to see a GTA 6 that everyone can be excited to play and be proud of, I think we need to just let the developers work on the game. And, when they're dealing with their own issues internally, people are not going to be focused on the game as a whole. So y'all let me know down in the comments. Are you excited for GTA 6? And does it coming out in 2025 or 2026 make or break your excitement on it? I think, just time will tell. And the longer we wait, it's fine too. Dan says, dude, there are so many people on there who spend so much time on GTA Online that they have levels in the thousands. It's ridiculous. Yes, it is absolutely ridiculous. And there's whole RP servers, which get kind of interesting. I dipped my toe very, very little early on when GTA Online came on. I have not gotten back on there. It is crazy what they've been able to do with that. And you can definitely see that is their cash cow, and they're not going to release GTA 6 without that cash cow, because why would you slit your throat, and put a game out that doesn't have the thing that has made you the most money? Just doesn't make any sense. Let's move to our third topic of the night. GameStop cuts jobs amid unsustainable sales decline. GameStop has experienced a significant decline in sales with a drop from 2.226 billion to 1.794 billion in the fourth quarter. Net income for GameStop also saw a decrease from 48.2 million to 63.1 million in the same period. I think that's backwards. Analysts are concerned about the sustainability of GameStop sales decline, attributing it to the rising popularity of digital game downloads over physical retail. To address the financial challenges, GameStop has implemented job cuts as a cost-saving measure, reducing expenses by 21.2%. The closure of GameStop NFT's marketplace and crypto wallet reflects the retailer's response to uncertainty surrounding NFT and cryptocurrencies. GameStop is a hot garbage mess. It has been that way for quite some time. Joe, this does not surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me at all either. One of our hosts here used to be a former employee, and for years I tried to get him to leave that place because it was a sinking ship. You could see the rats, all there, just fleeing the ship, leaving the ship. But GameStop has had this weird thing about it where it is constantly bleeding money, constantly closing locations, constantly letting people go. And it's like, you might want to not invest in stupid things like NFTs and cryptocurrencies, trying to get on the latest, this, that, and the other. Make people feel like GameStop used to feel, having midnight releases like it was a place to go. Now, when you walk into GameStop, most of it is just Funko Pops and swag stuff. Like, it is nothing. Like, I don't feel like it's a game store. I feel like the games are like kind of like on the side, and then it's just memorabilia stuff. And that right there says to me that, okay, games aren't selling well. Yes, people are buying games more digitally, all right? With Steam and, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, all having their own digital libraries and everything where you can buy. A lot of people are wanting to do that. And I'm definitely a proponent of that. I definitely, play more games on there. But if there was a place where I remember going into GameStop and EB Games, and there was just this excitement. You wanted to read the back of the box. You wanted all of this. And yes, like the internet wasn't as big of a thing back then, but the culture around it was also, I felt like it was different. It was like you wanted to be in there. You wanted to chat with other gamers. And now it just feels like you go in there. It's like, what do you want? Hey, do you want to buy a membership? You want some Pokemon cards? Like, it doesn't feel natural. Oh, GameStop, you garbage heap on fire. 100%. Yes, NFT and crypto, it's the future, guys. It's the future. I just feel like Squidward when it's like, future. That's what I definitely feel. Yeah, I know we were also kids walking through the mall, and yeah, we were excited to go in the game store and everything, but I know people that were older than us that definitely feel this way also. But I remember going to like college, like I would go up to GameStop to look around to see what's up there, getting like limited edition stuff actually used to be good, and now it's just hot garbage. It is not good. It's like the worst quality kind of stuff and everything. And it was just like, for them to keep losing money, and they're constantly trying to come up with some get rich quick scheme, it's not going to work because you're not tapping into the market that you are in. Your niche is growing exponentially. Like, the last year was one of the best years in gaming financially, even though we've seen, 8,000, 10,000, developers laid off last year. But gaming was so huge last year with all of the amazing releases. And it's like, okay, yes, people might be buying games digitally, but you've got to do something to get people to come back into your store. You've got to do something to garner that relationship because they broke trust. They've broken trust for so long with, hey, I just bought this game like a week ago. I want to trade it in. How much will you give me? I'll give you $5. Like, that breaks trust. I know people have got to make money and everything. Businesses have to make money. But when you undervalue people's stuff and you look on the wall and they're selling it for 40 and they're giving you 5, it's a huge thing. You know, and maybe they need to get into secondhand games and consoles. So I don't know. Like, I know their Funko Pops and memorabilia and everything does move stuff, but it's like that's their, I don't know. It's just like that takes up most of the display in their stores now, and it just doesn't feel like a game store anymore. And that's kind of sad. And like, GameStop's the only like actual video game store where, you know, you've got your big box stores, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, those kind of stores that do carry things. But I don't know. It's just sad to see all of this happening. But, you know, when the higher ups in GameStop just constantly are money hungry, where they, you know, you try to buy something and they push, oh, well, you need to get a protection plan. Oh, you need to be a pro member. You need to like, they're constantly trying to upsell you. And the reason why people there upsell you is because they have to hit a quota and everything. And it's super sad. And then if they don't hit their quota, they get in trouble. And, you know, it might be good that Derek's not on here tonight, you know, but GameStop is in trouble. And I feel like, you know, within the next 3 years, we won't have a GameStop, which is sad because I used to love GameStop. But you know what you could love right now? You could love getting up in the morning and smelling some fresh, delicioso coffee, because we have an awesome sponsor in Coffee Brand Coffee. They've got great quality coffee with no gimmicks and no politics. And if you're looking for somewhere, you know, it's like, well, that's, you know, this is just the brand of the week, or this is whatever. No, they have got over 4,000 verified reviews, and most of those are 5 out of 5. You can get 12 coffee blends, 12 organic teas, 3 hot cocoa flavors, and you can have the convenience of cold brew or K-Cups if you got you a Keurig. Some of the blends that stand out to me: marshmallow hot cocoa. I know it's getting warmer outside. Biscotti oolong organic tea. Sounds delicious. Blueberry cobbler flavored coffee. Every time I say that one, it just makes my mouth just water, guys. All of this is fresh and guaranteed, because when you put your order in, they're going to roast those beans then and there. It's not sitting over there. It's not Folgers in your cup. It's Coffee Brand Coffee. So elevate your coffee experience by getting you some Coffee Brand Coffee. Use code NerdCave at checkout or the link in the description below to get your 5% off your order today. Amy says she needs more coffee. Got to take care of her. Got to take care of the lady. Guys, let's move on to our fourth story of the evening. Judas first details how Kevin Levine is building on BioShock with narrative Legos. Judas, if you don't know, is a first-person narrative-driven shooter that will captivate fans of the BioShock series. And funny enough, it's 11 years since BioShock Infinite was released. Like, this week was 11 years. Crazy. The game takes place aboard a Mayflower, a colossal spaceship on a mission to save humanity by transporting it to a distant planet called Proxima Centauri. Almost like Alpha Centauri. I see you, Kevin Levine, you nerd. As the player, you assume the role of Judas, a young woman who awakens from being reprinted, a process that brings her back to life. Within the ship, you will interact with 3 holographic leaders who oversee its operations: Tom, the head of security; Nefertiti, the brilliant doctor; and Hope, their adopted daughter. Each leader has their own agenda, and it's up to you to navigate the complex web of relationships and make choices that will have far reaching consequences. Your decisions as Judas will shape the player driven narrative, resulting in a unique experience for each playthrough. The game seamlessly blends familiar gameplay elements from Bioshock with a gun in one hand and various organic powers in another, providing an exciting and immersive gameplay experience. This is something that I'm excited about. I'm excited about this game and Clockwork Revolution. Those are so good. I like, they look really, really cool. Judas, I want to see more of the story. I want to see some more gameplay and everything. I loved BioShock Infinite. I think Kevin Levine's storytelling is amazing. Infinite, even like, I haven't played it in a while, but the story beats that were in Infinite, in my mind, still hold up pretty well. Like, again, I haven't played it in a long time, but it dealt with so many different things within that. And then the ending, how crazy that was. I still think about the ending of Infinite, even this far away, 11 years ago. Crazy. 11 years ago, we got Infinite and we got GTA. It's crazy times. But this sounds like, if you watch the trailers that we got like at the Game Awards and everything, it definitely looks like BioShock. And when you have someone that has created something so iconic, it's like you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's like, keep doing what you're good at. Like, you look at an arcane game, you know what an arcane game is going to look. Arcane game, you know what it's going to look like, what it's going to play like. And I think that's the same thing with like Kevin Levine. It's like, if you know how to do something really well, you know, the two hands, you've got a gun, you've got powers in one hand, that's fine. You don't have to redo everything. It's the story that I'm thrilled to see what all is going on. And to Joe, Judas, interesting choice for Holy Week. It is an interesting choice for Holy Week. I'm curious if it plays into that, that she betrays people. Is that why she's called Judas? I don't know, but it will be interesting. And I'm looking forward to more about this, just kind of give y'all a little bit more. Tom, he's one of the three leaders. He's the head of security who wants to protect all of humanity by ensuring that the Mayflower's original mission stays, of course. Nefertiti, the ship's Nobel Prize-winning doctor who wants to create a civilization of full robots with no human flaws. And Hope, who wants your help deleting herself because the existential crisis of her existence leads her to the conclusion that deletion is the only way to end her suffering. Well, that got dark. So there's some definitely interesting things just right there, just reading a little bit further into the full article. And y'all can read all of this over on IGN if y'all want to. But I think what we're going to get is a very interesting game, and I can't wait for Judas and getting to play through it and see what all is going to happen, because it's going to be very, very exciting. Let's move to Article 5. Marvel Rivals is a team-based hero shooter from NetEase Games. Marvel Rivals is a free-to-play 6v6 hero shooter game developed by NetEase. It brings together all your favorite Marvel superheroes and villains in epic battles. Get ready for an intense PvP action with destructible environments and unique team-up skills, which I think is cool. Kind of reminds me of Marvel Ultimate Alliance, where you could do like combos and all of that. The game features iconic locations from the Marvel multiverse, including Asgard and Tokyo 2099. You'll have a wide range of characters to choose from, including members of Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, X-Men, and more. Each character has their own unique team-up skills that create exciting synergies between heroes. And don't worry if your favorite character isn't initially included, because NetEase has a robust post-launch plan with new characters and maps. The story revolves around Doctor Doom and his 2099 counterpart, causing universes to collide, and it's up to the heroes to save the multiverse. Marvel Rivals is developed by a talented team from franchises like Battlefield and Call of Duty. And the game is currently in development for PC with a closed alpha to start in May. So if you want to apply to test it out, y'all are more than welcome to. We also got a trailer for this. So let's check out, I haven't watched much of this. Let's check out the Marvel Rivals trailer.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one. Pick your hero. Get ready.
I definitely
Go!
feel like it's
Light of
Overwatch.
Ashanti, strange
Like
is
that right
here.
there looks like Overwatch level warfare.
It's nano time.
Okay, so we're getting to like a team up. The destructible environment.
I hope
looks
Friday
pretty
got
cool.
that on video. I'm opening a portal.
Okay, that's like semester.
Be strong together.
Join together. Drown them. I'm everywhere.
Hanzo.
Your powers are mine.
Okay, that's like
I got you. Behold,
what are
that
they doing?
child.
Hey, mind if I join you, pal?
I do like the team up part of it.
Maximum
That's pretty cool.
pulse.
It's spider time.
By the eye of Agamotto.
I am ready to put on a show.
I don't know who won the show is.
For Wakanda. Spider Sling.
You're the winner. Next team.
Interesting game. Female Galactus. Yeah, I like it looks interesting, but yeah, it literally just looks like Marvel Overwatch. Like I feel like they could have saved a lot of time and effort and literally just made some skins for Overwatch. It looks kind of basic. It does very much look like Overwatch. If there is a story mode to it, that would be interesting because that's something we don't get over on Overwatch. But if they're just matches and everything, and the story is just kind of like the set piece, and you're just fighting and all of that, I'm done with that kind of stuff. Like Overwatch 2 sucks. I used to be a huge Overwatch fan, and yeah. So hopefully it will have something that's a little bit story wise and everything. But I do like the power ups. I think that's going to be cool. But yeah, they feel a lot of the characters feel like straight up just clones of some of the Overwatch people. Like Hulk feels like Doomfist. One of them felt like Echo. I couldn't remember her name while we were watching it. Echo. So like one of like Namor felt like Hanzo. You know, it's just like I understand that some of these are like archetypes and everything, but a lot of it felt like you know, I'm not sure what Loki kind of reminds me of, like not Symmetra, who I'm trying to remember their names, like Tracer, and then there's another one. I did see the new character that they had I saw just images. I haven't watched any gameplay that they had of the new character over on Overwatch. But yeah, I'm done playing Overwatch. It's just not my thing anymore. They kind of ruined that game, unfortunately. So free to play 6v6. I'm sure it will come over to consoles as well. Just it's easier to develop something on PC and testing it on PC than do it with consoles first off when it's alpha stuff. So only time will tell. I don't know if it'll be something that will, survive 2 months, but only the future knows. Let's jump into the PlayStation news, though. Sony Ben's new title is reportedly a AAA live service game, and everyone cheered. Yeah, you got to cheer, guys. You got to, yeah. No one's happy about this. I know I'm definitely not. Live service sucks, unless you're Helldivers. Sony Bend is currently working on a AAA live service game as their next project. They're actively seeking a lead project manager with experience in developing and shipping a AAA live service game. The company aims to redefine their studio by transitioning from traditional box product focused development to live service development. Although Sony Bend has been tight-lipped about specific details, they hinted at progress with a tweet saying, "We cooking." Reports from November 2023 suggested that the new game would launch in 2025, so there's hope for some exciting updates soon. So if you don't know who Sony Bend is, the last game that they made was one that we don't talk about on here, Days Gone, just because it was in the news a ton. So their last game was Days Gone, which had an interesting premise, but I think it coming out after Last of Us, and I just feel like it didn't get the same kind of marketing push. People didn't really understand what the game was fully about. So I feel like a lot of people didn't buy the game. I haven't even tried it out. The zombies definitely looked interesting, the way they moved and everything. But after that game came out, they wanted to make another one. Sony told them no. And now we're getting strapped with a AAA live service game. And it's interesting because a lot of the other studios, let's say, with Naughty Dog, they had a live service game that was really close to coming out, and then they scrapped it with their Last of Us game and everything. And it's interesting. It's like, okay, Sony Ben's going after this, and it's like, will this actually hit? Because there are so many live service games. We literally just saw one right before this with Marvel Rivals and everything. And there's so many that are out there that people don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to play a live service game. I enjoy Helldivers, but I don't have enough time to put into Helldivers that I would like to have. But I also feel like if I put in the time that I felt like Helldivers deserved, I wouldn't be doing anything else because that game is such a grind. And it's a fun grind, especially when you got a group of people to play with and everything, but it is a grind and a half. And so many live service games work that way because they want to suck you in. Oh, you got to log in just because you got the login bonus for the day. Oh, you've got to complete this, you got your daily challenges, blah, 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 blah. Helldivers doesn't necessarily feel like that. It just doesn't feel like you've achieved a ton after you play, because I think it's part of the game where you're just a cog. Like, you're not going to be the hero of the story. But with Sony's focus with Jim Ryan really pushing live service game, I think Sony Bend is so far down the pipe, and Sony Bend has had so much issue with making a game that actually sells and makes back its money that Sony is just like, okay, you're going to put out this live service game. What it will be, I don't know. Their kind of track record that, with Days Gone, but they also did Siphon Filter back in the day, which was great series. So they're known for like the third person shooter genre. So we could see something that is like that. I don't know if it will be IP driven, where it will be like PlayStation specific, or will it be a totally new IP? Will it be a hero shooter? Will it be like battle royales? I feel like are kind of like by the wayside at this point in time, just because the three that have stood the test of time are still here, and that's Fortnite, Apex, and Warzone, and then somewhere along that list is PUBG at the same time. That's way down the way, and then not World War Z. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So Sony been making a AAA game, a live service game when they've never made one, doesn't fill me with a lot of hope. I'm going to make a prediction here, and hopefully it doesn't come true. But Sony Ben will put out this game in 2025, and it will do dismal. Okay, and I reserve the right to take this back after I see it, but it will do dismal, and Sony will close Sony Bend. That's my prediction. That's my prediction, guys. Let's get into some juicy rumors. Rumor Xbox is planning to bring the majority of its games to PlayStation. According to gamesindustry.biz, there's been a lot of talk about publishers losing interest in supporting Xbox and bringing their games to Xbox platforms. Chris Dring, the head of GameIndustry.biz, had conversations with publishers during the Games Developer Conference at GDC 2024, where he got the impression that they are struggling to see the value in investing time and money into Xbox. Here's where it gets interesting. Dring also heard some intriguing plans from Xbox. It seems that Xbox wants to bring the majority of its games over to PlayStation as long as the initial batch of Xbox games coming to PlayStation goes well. And those initial games are Grounded, Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, and I think Pentiment is also coming to it as well. So there's 4 titles that will be coming to the PlayStation, 3 to 4. I can't remember, but Pentiment. Now, keep in mind these conversations Dring had during GDC, so plans can always change, but Dring is a respected voice in the industry, so this information holds weight. While there have been reports about other Xbox games coming to PlayStation 5 beyond the 4 already announced, nothing is set in stone yet, but the door doesn't seem to be closed according to Phil Spencer's wording. So with this being a rumor, okay, this is, people, shop talk, you know what I mean? It would be like a bunch of band directors sure. It is after we had the Xbox, sit down with Phil, Sarah Boone, and Matt Booty, them talking about, we've got plans for the future. We're working on the next Xbox. We're getting a new version of the Xbox soon. What that's telling me, like, yes, the sales numbers for Xbox consoles has slowed down dramatically. And the investment in Game Pass, there's not as many subscribers as they have wanted. They have also put themselves in an interesting position by buying Activision Blizzard, where they have a huge plethora of games. And I think a lot of people are like, okay, well, they're not moving the needle right now. Until Call of Duty, like these Call of Duty games start coming out for Xbox, and they have like Xbox centric stuff. Like they are not going to be just on Xbox, of course. That's already been like signed and pinned in deals with PlayStation and Nintendo. But think about all the Blizzard games that could come to Xbox consoles. We're getting Diablo 4 coming to Game Pass today or tomorrow. Like we're getting so many, or it might already be out there. Like we're getting so many things that are starting to roll in their favor that I'm not counting Xbox out. I think they do have a plan for the future. I think a lot of people have seen Xbox as this, well, when are we ever going to get games? And we're finally starting to get games. I think when we get more and more of these, when we get Senua Saga 2, when we get some more of Activision stuff, when we get these things that are interesting, Indiana Jones, I think people will move the needle more, but only time is going to make that happen. Like Xbox and Phil have been really working on getting developers under their roof so they can continue to make stuff. I hate to say it though, but they've let things that really have made Xbox, like Halo and Gears of War, kind of rust. Halo Infinite had the potential of being an amazing game. The story I thought was overall pretty good. I thought they had some interesting concept. The multiplayer was pretty fun for a while. You know, we played a lot here on the channel, but when you all got down to it, it's like the updates didn't come fast enough. It just felt like it was just incremental, and we haven't gotten a Gears of War since 2019, and it's 2024, and the coalition has said nothing about Gears of War 6 after they leave it on a cliffhanger. I feel like I talk about Gears of War 6 like every show that I want that game, but it's like we get to this point where people are like, oh, I don't know if we're going to put our games on Xbox. Of course they're going to put their games on Xbox. It might not be indie devs that are putting their games on Xbox. I don't know who all is going to GDC, if they're larger developers or whatever, but people are going to put their games on Xbox because there's an install base. People are going to put stuff on Game Pass because so many people are on Game Pass. And I am very interested in seeing what we're going to get some big news from Xbox this summer, but I think we're only seeing the turn right now, around the corner. I think there's some really interesting stuff that is going to be coming out of Xbox, and I don't think it's just, you know, a song and dance from Phil and the team. I do think we are going to get some interesting stuff. I know there was rumors and hints that we're going to be getting a potential handheld from Xbox. I don't know if that's necessarily the right way to do this. And we also got a year for Skyrim, which is not great. Not Skyrim, but Elder Scrolls 6. So there's definitely a future there. So we got to wait and see at this point. Nate says they supposedly fixed the desync issue on Halo. I just wish they would have fixed it way earlier. Way earlier, man. That would have been much better. Would have been much better. Let's jump into the PlayStation Quickies. New PS5 UI update is now in beta in the US, including friend activities and live wallpapers. Guys, I've been waiting for live wallpapers and themes. I don't know if that's all what this means, but that's what I want. I want my themes back. I love themes on consoles. I think it makes it where it's like, it feels like yours. It's not just a thing that runs your games. It feels like yours. It's like when you get a computer, do you keep I literally have the generic wallpaper on this computer because, you know, it's whatever. But it's like most people will put a wallpaper on their computer that personalizes and everything. So that's interesting. I like it. Devs reportedly question why PS5 Pro is happening, as they feel they aren't making the most out of the PS5. Money. That's why. Because Sony wants to make more money. Sony reveals PS5 community game help is powered by user-generated content. Oh, get people to work for free. Sony reveals I already said that. Jim Ryan receives his own PlayStation Star campaign as he leaves Sony this month after 30 years. Go get you some Jim Ryan stars, guys. Stellar Blade demo unleashed on March 29th. Progress carries to the full game. That's what I'm saying, guys. Why don't more demos actually do that? That is amazing. Media Molecule confirms its curation team is being laid off, but no plans to take Dreams offline. Heart and wishes go out to the curation team being laid off. That is never a cool thing. I hate what the industry is doing right now. Yes, exactly. A greedy corporation wants more money. What? Yeah. Final Fantasy 16, the Rising Tide DLC will arrive April 18th. Helldivers 2 is the best-selling game for February and 2024's best-selling game so far. It's interesting that last year's best-selling console game came out in February, which is Hogwarts Legacy, and now we have the game's best-selling game in 2024 so far, and Helldivers 2, which also came out in February, around my birthday. Go figure, guys. Go figure. It's like when you put a game out around my birthday, Everybody wants to play it because they want to celebrate. Yeah, boy. Silent Hill 2 Remake is reportedly targeting a late 2024 release window. Corey Barlog teases Santa Monica's new project, seeing some early things come together. What you working on, Corey? You working on that next God of War? You better tell me. Call me, bro. PS Plus April free games have been announced. Immortals of Avium for the PlayStation 5, Minecraft Legends for the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, Skull the Hero Slayer on PlayStation 4. Immortals of Avium, if you don't remember, is the EA game that came out that's like third-person shooter, kind of like magic base kind of thing. Interesting that it's ended up on the free PlayStation Plus games after like 2-3 months on sales because it did not do well. Guys, we're going to move into the Patreon quick hits right after this sip. The Patreon quick hits are brought to you by our wonderful patrons. You can go support the Nerd Cave to help us continue to make awesome shows like this one, Eat, Sleep, Anime, and keep the lights and the mics on. Become part of the ship, part of the crew over on patreon.com/nerdcave. Pick a tier that fits best for you. And if you don't have any bucks to toss, that's fine too. We have a free tier where you can go over there and get awesome updates that you might miss anywhere else. Without further ado, let's get into the Patreon quick hits. Baldur's Gate 3 wins Game of the Year at GDC. David Hayter says Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is spectacular following hands-on with opening mission. Rumor, Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio are receiving Unreal Engine 5 remakes. Valon Studios devs behind Knockout City announces potential layoffs, which could mean 46 out of the 121 devs being let go. I don't like that. Derek hitting us with these layoffs, and I love Knockout City. Layoffs hit Sega Europe, Creative Assembly, and Hardlight. Sega sells Relic Entertainment. Nintendo confirms testing layoff amid first party lull and reports of Switch 2 delay. Ark, the animated series, surprise launches on Paramount Plus. Assassin's Creed Jade reportedly has been delayed to 2025 amid Tencent pivot. Still Wakes the Deep gets a release of June 18th. Shinji Mikami has seemingly started another new studio named Kemway Inc. Jonathan Blow confirms Braid Anniversary Edition has 35 new levels. Dead Island 2 Solo DLC, like South Los Angeles, I don't know. Confirmed for April 17th, brings new enemies and weapons. Capcom responds to Dragon's Dogma 2 microtransaction complaints. Apologizes having entirely optional purchases available. Resident Evil 9 will reportedly be building off open world capabilities built into the RE engine for Dragon's Dogma 2. Live action Zelda movie director Wes Ball wants the film to be serious yet whimsical, which I think is the right way to do that. Shadows of the Damned Hella Remastered invites players to hell again this year. Rumor, Toys for Bob agrees to partner with Microsoft for its next project. Awesome. Probably we'll see something with Spyro or Crash from them. Tricky Madness is a spiritual successor to SSX in development for PC and consoles. I was always a Cool Borders fan over SSX. Michael Gamble confirms Mass Effect 5 is being led by 4 BioWare veterans. Let's go. I want a good BioWare game, and especially for Mass Effect, my favorite series. Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail expansion launches July 2nd. Producer Yoshi P hints that Final Fantasy XVI could be coming to other platforms after the PC port. As official Xbox handheld rumors swirl, Phil Spencer reveals that he wants what he wants from it. Free Radical co-founder expresses disappointment over Time Splitters cancellation is likely done with the series. It Takes Two celebrates third anniversary with 16 million sales as a milestone. Phil Spencer is directing Xbox to be multi-platform, partially due to Gen Z's habits and the console market's lack of growth. Xbox insiders can now test out mouse and keyboard support on Xbox Cloud Gaming, and those are for specific games. F-Zero's Maximum Velocity races onto Switch online library. 2K confirms that the new BioShock is cooking after BioShock Infinite celebrates the 11th anniversary. Sega of America workers ratify union contract, includes annual pay increase, mandatory notice ahead of layoffs, and more. Take-Two buys Gearbox from Embracer. Well, there you go. That's awesome. Confirms development on new Borderlands game. Leaked images reveal white Series X with no disk drive. So an Xbox Series X that is white. I saw some pictures of it. Looks pretty dope. Don't Nod says 7 games are in the works. 4 of them are unannounced. I love Don't Nod. I think they do great with some storytelling. Definitely looking forward to that. Some interesting things. The Gen Z, like Phil Spencer being multi-platform due to Gen Z habits. I think a lot of younger people, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they're playing on their phones. That's where they're playing Fortnite. That's where they started and everything. It's easier to get a phone than it is a console, I feel like, because you can pay it off in payments. But most kids, they're iPhone babies. They're your iPad babies. You know what I mean? So I feel like having things like, cloud, xCloud and everything is a great thing. Multi-plat. I don't know. Like we already seen how good Game Pass is for, on PC and all of that. So I can only imagine that it will do better, where like with Grounded, Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, and Pentiment going multi-platform from Xbox, I think we're going to see how well they're accepted, how well they'll do and everything. I think Sea of Thieves will probably do the best, then Hi-Fi Rush, then Grounded, then Pentiment, just because Pentiment is such a niche kind of game. But with that being said, it's like everybody's wanted to play those games have already played them pretty much, that have wanted to buy them, got on Game Pass, whatever. They've already played it. Now they're getting to go over to PlayStation. They're getting bought over there, which is an influx of cash that Xbox would have never gotten. And seeing that as, okay, we want to continue to make consoles. That's going to be the best place to play our Xbox games. But yes, you can play them over on PlayStation after 6 months or whatever. I think that is something that they could definitely do. But looking at the market and where it's like our generation, millennials and, even Gen X, like we're getting older, but yes, we have more expendable income, but Gen Z will be hitting like where they're, graduating from college and everything. And then they're already starting in the workforce and everything, but they're going to be becoming more of the market. I know that millennials are one of the biggest. Actually, I think they're bigger in the workforce than baby boomers are at this point, which was a huge. That's why they're baby boomers. So I think, Phil is being honest and upfront like he normally is. And, only time will tell. And I know I said that a lot because kind of gaming right now is just like, we're just seeing where things are going. I do find it very interesting that PS5 developers are wondering why we're getting a PS5 Pro. It's like, why are we doing this? I don't know why we're doing this. And that's kind of how I feel about a lot of things with gaming these days. It's like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing all these live service games? People don't have time, definitely don't have the extra money. So, yeah. I'd rather pay $70 for a game and never feel like I have to buy anything. But that's not where they make all the money. So what, go back to GTA Online. It's like they print money. I can imagine at Rockstar, they literally don't even have regular toilet paper. It's just money like made into toilet paper. They're wiping with $100 bills at this point over there, maybe even $1,000 bills. I don't know if we get that crazy, but at least a $5. You know what I mean? They get constant money from live service, even if the game sucks. Yeah, and like there's always going to be those gamers that go onto a live service game that are like the whales. You know, they're the ones that are putting down the cash and they're getting all the things, all, you know, they want to look cool or whatever, and that's totally fine. But if the game doesn't play well and like it doesn't have like actual legs, then I'm not going to put in the time into a game like that. You know, and if we got more games that actually had something to go, you know, longer, I could be fine. Like you look at Sea of Thieves is a good, like they started as live service. They had, you know, there weren't really predatory on their things that I feel like, but they did a good job of supporting the game, putting out new content constantly for it. And they've definitely slacked off over the, you know, last few years and everything. But yeah, I agree. You know, FOMO hits some people real bad. Yeah, yeah, I got this skin because my buddy has it. Yeah. And like some of the skins look super dope. I'm not even like, you want to get those things to look cool or whatever. It's a status. You know what I mean? It's a status thing. It's just, it's the same with like people buying like Louis Vuitton bags or people wearing, you know, really nice Jordans or whatever. It's the same thing. It's a status thing. It's like, oh, I've got enough money that I don't have to worry about this. I want to look cool. I want to look like I'm in the know or whatever. I'm, you know, it's showing that off, and like they definitely are, you know, pushing that in video games. Like I don't even play Fortnite, but I wanted yes, I will say the DVC skins, I definitely wanted those. And now that I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm like, man, it's like I totally could have gotten you know, Gojo and all of them, but you know, I think that's, you know, they're definitely playing on the FOMO aspects of it, but a lot of the games, they put so much effort into the microtransaction side that they actually don't develop a good game. They don't develop something that actually like lives the test of time. And, you know, Knockout City, we all love Knockout City. We played a ton of it here on the channel, and like it had some cool like skins and everything, but it didn't have the legs to withstand time, you know, and people started dipping out and all of that. Rumbleverse is another one. Like that game was out like a month maybe, and then it died. And that was made by Epic, you know, the people that made Fortnite. And it's just like people are, I feel like people are like, okay, this is the game that I'm going to play. I'm going to play Warzone. I'm going to play X, whatever it is. This is what I'm putting my time into. And I feel like you're like younger kids, they're playing Roblox or Fortnite. And that's just like, I feel like you've got to start targeting or getting people into games that are different. And then figure out how to monetize in not a sleazy way. It's like, yeah, you might make less money, but you might have a longer attach rate. People buying consoles, people buying services, whatever it is. I think that's really important. So that's kind of my soapbox. I hate microtransactions. They're the devil. There's my TED talk. And what's crazy is like these game companies keep making more money than they ever have, and they keep laying people off. So that's my TED talk. Guys, thank y'all so much for being here. Again, next week we will be live on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. So we are changing the day. We will be live on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Eat Sleep Anime comes out Monday, everybody. So I hope y'all are ready for that. Do y'all want to see a little? I did a little extra. Y'all put a 5 in chat right now. Do y'all want to see what the setup for Eat Sleep Anime is going to look like? Y'all put a 5 in chat. I'll pull it up. If there's enough 5s in chat, I'll show y'all what it's going to look like, because this is pretty flipping awesome. Not even going to lie. Not even gonna lie. Oh, I'm seeing the fives. I'm seeing the fives. So if you watched it live, it did look slightly different. But I wanted to go a little plus ultra on this. I want to go a little plus ultra on this. So this is what the overall look. Will switch between me and Derek as well. But this is what Eat Sleep Anime is going to look like. Derek also got a new camera, guys. I don't know if y'all noticed that. But Derek got a new camera and he got new headphones. And what else did he get? He got an Ethernet cable where we can actually have faster internet. So yeah, this is what it looks like. If you are eagle-eyed, there are some dope manga panels in the back there. If you can guess which manga it is, you're a genius. Needs a background? It does have a background. That's literally the background. Oh, he needs a background. Yeah. You know, I'm just glad Derek has a better camera. Looking good. Thanks, love. Yeah, I'm excited for it, guys. I think y'all are going to really, really enjoy the show. I know everybody that's seen it over on Patreon seemed to really enjoy it and everything, and I'm excited to share it with everybody. Y'all get to check it out and everything. But next Wednesday will be NerdCave News. Monday is Eat Sleep Anime. Everybody's going to get to check it out, and I can't wait for y'all to see this dope intro. Oh my gosh, y'all going to just be throwing things. It's going to be great. And everybody wish Amy a happy birthday. Amy's birthday is this Sunday, guys. Wish her a happy birthday in the chat right now. Happy birthday to you. That's my birthday song, guys. And if you haven't already, hit the like button on this. Turning 33. Turning 33. The big 3-3. 3-3. 3-3. Guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I know it was kind of a shorter episode. Y'all let me know. Did y'all like that the articles were like shorter? Y'all let me know. What did y'all think about that as well? I'll kind of give y'all kind of a side by side on what the articles normally look like, and y'all tell me if this is like having a little bit more kind of pared down version of it. So let me see if I can share this with y'all. Amy says she liked it. Nice. So I'll show. This is for everybody. So normally, this would be like the normal article, and we would read all of this like off. And yeah, there's like a little less context in some of it. But it's like all of that, it's pared down to this instead. Like, I felt like the show went a little bit smoother. I don't know. Y'all let me know down in the chat. I think I liked it a little bit more. Just because it was a little bit more to the point. I felt like conversational more of it. So y'all let me know what y'all thought on that. Because definitely wanting to improve the show as we go. So all that good stuff. All that good stuff. All of it, guys. Yeah, that does it for me. I am going to bounce, but I love y'all. I will see y'all Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to be trying out some new games, trying some stuff out on Game Pass. We're going to be doing a lot of cool things. It's going to be a great time. But I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Bye.